DeMarvion Overshonne, Dallas Cowboys linebacker and rising star, is now 5 months into his recovery from a severe ACL, PCL, and MCL tear injury that he sustained during an intense Week 14 match against the Cincinnati Bengals. The injury, which is notorious for its long rehabilitation period, is something that Overshonne is no stranger to, having previously torn his ACL prior to his rookie season in 2023. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. Despite the setback, Overshonne has shown resilience and determination. He has rejoined the rehab team on the sidelines during the team's organized team activities, OTA, sessions, and exudes positivity about his recovery progress. "I'm making excellent progress, it couldn't be better," Overshonne stated, a glint of determination in his eyes. "If I were doing any better, I'd be back on the field playing. In terms of my recovery and the process, I'm exactly where I need to be, if not further." However, despite Overshonne's optimism and positive outlook, the unfortunate truth is that he tore the 3 key ligaments in his knee: the ACL, PCL, and MCL. This injury is notoriously difficult to recover from, demanding extensive physical therapy, patience, and strength. This challenge is further compounded by the fact that Overshonne has previously suffered a torn ACL prior to his rookie season in 2023. Although this has made the journey towards full recovery a familiar path for Overshonne, it is a path he acknowledges will take time to complete, given its similarity to his first recovery journey. "I know it's a journey, we're not rushing it just because I'm looking good," Overshonne explained, his voice steady and sure. "There's no need to rush. I will return when I'm fully recovered, when I'm prepared, when I'm confident I can step onto the field without worrying about my knee." Overshonne expressed gratitude towards Cowboys Associate Athletic Trainer and Director of Rehabilitation, Britt Brown, for his guidance and support throughout the recovery process. Working with Brown, Overshonne has had access to a unique, patient, and careful approach to his recovery, ensuring he returns only when he's fully prepared. "As far as I'm concerned, I can do anything and everything," Overshonne stated confidently. "But Britt Brown keeps me in check. I started light jogging this week, which is progress. I'm shuffling, backpedaling, doing all the basics, gradually building strength." The linebacker is considering a cautious approach to his return, potentially starting on the physically unable to perform (PUP) list, depending on his progress. However, he is open to other alternatives if he continues to feel great. "I'm considering a cautious approach, maybe starting on PUP, maybe not if I'm feeling great, but like I said, I'll let Britt, the miracle worker, do his thing. I'll just keep grinding as if I'm playing tomorrow. Whenever they let me loose, I'll be ready." Upon Overshonne's return, he is slated to be a crucial part of defensive coordinator Matt Eberfluss's defense. Eberfluss, a specialist in linebackers, has already provided Overshonne with guidance on how to slow down the game and leverage his strengths, playing quickly and efficiently. "Mastering the basics and playing smoothly leads to playing faster," Overshonne reflected, recounting Eberfluss' advice. "In the early stages of my career, I relied heavily on my natural athletic ability and determination to make plays. I believe he's a coach who will put you in the right position, slow you down so you're making a play even before it reaches you. So, those tackles at the line of scrimmage will turn into TFLs." In addition to his recovery and return, Overshonne will also be donning a new jersey number, 0, making him the first Cowboy ever to sport this number. Initially, Overshonne thought he would automatically receive the number upon his draft, but he is proud of his efforts to earn the right to wear it. "I've wanted this since I arrived, so to finally get it. I may have been overly eager initially, but the way I earned it, I think I've gained a lot of respect in the organization," Overshonne shared, a grin spreading across his face. "The fact that I get to wear it, it's a mark of honor. I can't wait to make it shine," he concluded, his eyes gleaming with anticipation and determination. The Dallas Cowboys have seen a number of changes both on and off the field recently, with one of the most notable being the acquisition of George Pickins from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pickins, it seems, is diving headfirst into the newly transformed culture of the Cowboys, something that is reflected in his apparent satisfaction with his new team. This is a stark contrast to his time with the Steelers, where he seemed less than content. The offseason has been a period of significant change for the Cowboys, with a notable highlight being the execution of a significant trade deal. In a move that surprised many, the team acquired the highly talented George Pickins from the Steelers. This was a decision that sent ripples through the world of football, with many watching eagerly to see how Pickins would adapt to his new surroundings. Pickins, known for his impressive skills as a receiver, offers a formidable threat opposite CeeDee Lamb. However, his inclusion in the team has not been without its concerns. His time in Pittsburgh was marked by a consistent dissatisfaction, a trait that sparked questions about his maturity and ability to handle the pressures of the game. In Dallas, however, it seems that Pickens is finding a new lease of life. He appears more satisfied, more content with his surroundings. This is something that has been noted by head coach Brian Schottenheimer, who has praised Pickens for his performance to date. Lamb, too, has been vocal in his support of Pickens, referring to him as another number one wide receiver. This is contrary to the popular perception of Pickens as a WR2, a label that implies he is a secondary option. The bond between Lamb and Pickens has been amusingly highlighted by their teammate, Micah Parsons. This camaraderie was particularly visible on a recent Thursday during the organized team activities, OTAs, when Lamb missed a long pass from Dak Prescott. As a form of self-discipline, Lamb performed a series of push-ups. In a show of solidarity, Pickens joined him. It's still early days in the season, and it's uncertain whether Pickens has truly turned over a new leaf. He has admitted in the past that his emotions can sometimes get the better of him during games. However, it seems his satisfaction in Dallas eclipses what he felt during his time in Pittsburgh. Perhaps it's the environment that Coach Schottenheimer is fostering, one that encourages camaraderie and mutual support. Or maybe it's the fact that Lamb, as a star player, draws a significant amount of attention away from Pickens, allowing him to perform without the weight of expectation. It could even be as simple as Pickens preferring to receive passes from Prescott rather than Mason Rudolph. Whatever the case may be, it's hoped that Pickens' happiness continues. After all, a content player is often a successful player, and his success could very well be an indicator of the team's overall success. It's clear that Pickens has made a strong start in Dallas, and it will be interesting to see how this plays out as the season progresses. The Cowboys have certainly made a gamble in trading for Pickens, but if his early performance is any indication, it's a gamble that could very well pay off. Speculation is rife that the Dallas Cowboys are considering signing the troubled former Texas Longhorns wide receiver, Isaiah Bond. This conjecture has gained traction despite the fact that the team, in need of a wide receiver, decided against selecting one during the recent 2025 NFL Draft. The team's leadership has been outspoken about their desire for a dynamic number 2 option receiver to work alongside CeeDee Lamb. However, the absence of any draft move in this direction has led fans to expect some form of decisive action in the near future. While it may not be a solid solution, it's time to delve into the pool of undrafted free agents and scout for potential training camp rosters. The Dallas Cowboys have already made some moves in this direction, signing 2 receivers for their training camp, Josh Kelly from Texas Tech and Trayshawn Holden from Oregon. However, another undrafted wide receiver who is currently in the spotlight is the infamous former Texas Longhorns player, Isaiah Bond. Earlier this month, Bond found himself in the middle of a scandal, surrendering to the Frisco police due to an outstanding warrant for his arrest on sexual assault charges. Bond had been a participant in the NFL Draft and was earlier considered a potential first-round pick. The 21-year-old Bond was released after posting a bail amount of $25,000, prompting his legal team to leap into action. In the aftermath of a shocking affidavit being exposed, Bond and his legal team filed a defamation lawsuit against his accuser in the United States District Court in North Texas. Damian Butler, Bond's agent, circulated a 17-page legal document and explanation to all NFL teams. Nevertheless, no team was bold enough to draft Bond, leaving him in the open market as a free agent with a golden opportunity to secure a contract through training camp. For teams like the Cowboys, who are in dire need of bolstering their receiver depth, is Bond a gamble they are willing to take? An NFL team source, speaking to insider Mike Fisher, stated, "Let's wait and see if he's found innocent. Let's wait until the dust settles." However, looking at Dallas' 2025 draft class, the team has brought in 9 players renowned for their exceptional leadership skills, team captaincy experience, and an undeniable passion for the sport. This strongly suggests that the Cowboys are keen on avoiding any off-field controversies like the one surrounding Bond. This puts Bond at a distinct disadvantage, as his recent behavior is not in line with what a culture-driven head coach like Brian Schottenheimer seeks in his locker room. It is likely that Schottenheimer would be vehemently against such a move. Yes, it is true that Bond is a promising receiver prospect and could potentially be signed with minimal risk. However, it's important to note that the Cowboys organization has officially embarked on a culture shift. We predict that an invite to Bond for the training camp isn't going to derail this momentum. In conclusion, while the Cowboys are in dire need of a wide receiver, the controversies surrounding Isaiah Bond might just prove to be the deal-breaker. Only time will tell if the team's leadership is willing to take the risk and sign the troubled player.